that?
Yeah, well, I think in the sense of any human being, we must start from the self-belief. We must have a self-belief that works for us, that we're willing to really explore and own the deficits as well as the strengths, and become a person we want to be. It's really hard in this contemporary society, because if you go back 10,000 years in tribal society, it was the scars on your chest or a woman that wore certain braids. That says, right, you've arrived. This is it. Go and find your wife, build your mud hut, you're sorted. Nowadays we have this wonderful thing called civilization, and it has free choice and democracy, which are wonderful things, but they also introduce a lot of complexity. And so the self-belief we carry can often be distorted, might have got biased or distorted during childhood because the parenting wasn't effective, sometimes because it's actually deficient and neglectful and traumatic. Sometimes it can be overindulgent and it looks really good on the surface, but it disempowers people from being powerful adults because they never learned that to grow into that. So a long wind up or warm up to the question of masculinity. I think if we know ourselves, if I'm happy with myself, I've got a cluster of values I think work for me around respect and integrity and fairness and affection and nurturing, and they work inwards to look after me as well as outwards to connect healthily with my community. Then the work starts to have a healthy relationship with a woman, to be a father for my children who at least is consistent and present and is always asking after their interest. That doesn't mean I have to be the best father on earth, but I must attend to my children the best I can, and kids can grow up really healthily around that, amongst the whole range of manhood and fathering. So it's a bit of an inside-out model. It starts on the inside and then it starts to move out and connect and overlap, if we use circles, with all sorts of other people. Our mates, our relationship partners, our children. Women as friends is an important topic which is often hard to do unless you've got a really clear belief system, because it gets mixed up in sexuality and other things. But if you're clear about yourself, you can really work that well, that you can have intimate partners and friendships, and you know where you are in those things. So it's really exciting when you can start to get the self-belief appreciation. Doesn't mean it's easy. If it worked really well, we'd know ourselves by the time we're 21, and our first connections as an adult would be really good. That's the problem with the contemporary society, where there's a lot of confusion. So I'm often working at a later stage in my life trying to catch up and change things, which means some people are probably going to drop out of my life because it doesn't overlap anymore. They only connected with you for reasons that no longer suit you. So there's some people will drift away, and there can be a gap there while you wait for really true, authentic people to come back into your life, and that can be scary. It's a bit of a vacuum for some people. But if you can get through that, and so that this self-belief is now connecting authentically with people who are good for you and you're good for them, then I think you can tick a few boxes and call yourself a fulfilled